Welcome to the World Register. The World Register is an independent news source providing truthful, unbiased, and timely reporting about people, places, and events. Reuters news agency reports that the French police shot and arrested a man on Wednesday suspected of deliberately ramming his car into a group of soldiers in a Paris suburb hours earlier, injuring 6 of them in what the government called a deliberate attack. Armed police from elite units tracked the fugitive for 5 hours and 162 miles before cornering him on a motorway in northern France and shooting him several times. According to the report, the suspect was unarmed when he was shot, and there was no immediate word on his condition. The man appeared to have lain in wait for the soldiers in a pedestrian zone near the base in Levallois-Perret on the northwestern edge of the capital, where France's domestic counterterrorism agency is based. Interior Minister Gerard Collomb said the suspect accelerated his BMW into the troops, who were starting their patrol a few meters away, before speeding off and sparking a huge manhunt. Mr. Collomb also said that this was not an accident and that a terrorism investigation has been launched. Reuters news agency also reports that North Korea said it was carefully examining a plan to strike Guam, which is home to about 163 people, and U.S. military bases that include a submarine squadron, an air base, and a Coast Guard group. A Korean People's Army spokesman said in a statement carried by state-run KCNA news agency that once Kim Jong-un made a decision, the plan would be put into practice at any moment. Guam Governor Eddie Calvo dismissed the threat and said the island was prepared for any eventuality with strategically placed defenses. He said he had been in touch with the White House and there was no change in the threat level. U.S. President Donald Trump responded with tweets saying, quote, "My first order as president was to renovate and modernize our nuclear arsenal. It is now far stronger and more powerful than ever before. Hopefully we will never have to use this power, but there will never be a time that we are not the most powerful nation in the world." End quote. And in another report by Reuters news agency, officials on Wednesday said Canada has deployed soldiers to erect tents near the U.S. border to temporarily house hundreds of mainly Haitians crossing from New York State. Around 250 people are arriving daily in Montreal, in mainly French-speaking Quebec province. Quebec previously opened its Olympic Stadium, a former hospital, and a school to house people. Nearly 100 soldiers will be in Saint-Bernard-de-l'École across the border from Champlain, New York, to set up the tents and add to temporary facilities already organized by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police and Canadian Border Services Agency. Daniel Le Bathulier, a spokesman for the Canadian Department of National Defense, said the military would have no role in security matters. Mr. Le Bathulier, in an emailed statement, added, quote, "When the site is completed, the military will return to their home base." End quote. According to the report, hundreds of people have crossed into Quebec in recent weeks, spurred partly by false accounts of Haitians being able to immediately obtain residency after entering Canada. The Canadian Immigration Ministry, on its August 5th Facebook page, discouraged illegal entries and noted that messages posted elsewhere online suggesting that Canada is inviting people to seek refugee status were wrong. Like the United States, Canada had a deportation ban on Haitians after a 2010 earthquake. According to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, more than 50,000 people affected by Haiti's earthquake have been allowed to remain in the United States under temporary protected status. This year, the department extended their status through next January, but officials said in May that people covered under the status should begin acquiring travel documents to return to Haiti.